Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the 7.3 update show, Grim Omens. I'm Isaiah, your host for today, and we've got a lot to go over. We've got
Isaiah.
A brand new event, tons of awesome skins.
Is it just me or did this get quieter?
And of course, we've got
Doesn't
the
get any
balance
louder.
updates coming to you. And for here, breaking that stuff down with me, I've got Pon Pon from the design team. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Super excited for this balance pass. So the bonus balance, that worked out for us last time, didn't it?
Yeah, the bonus balance went over great.
Right.
We got a whole bunch of changes that the community really wanted earlier than a normal patch cycle would go for, and that's what we're doing again today.
It is so quiet. Oh, God.
We're getting that bonus balance.
I wonder if I can. I wonder
Exactly.
if I can.
So, yeah, we're
I
going to
wonder
be going
if my
over the
sound
bonus
mixer
balance
maybe
headed your way on
Can I
March
open?
10th.
Nope, that's as
So
loud
be,
as the video
right
gets.
up, working for
Okay.
you guys next week. So
That's
we're gonna go
literally
ahead
as loud
and
as it
get right
gets.
into it. We've got Blink
This is
Rune
it. This is all we
first
have.
up for items, and this
Yep.
is a spicy one.
Yeah, Blink Rune is one of those runes that or relics that like really allows you to be super aggressive.
That's
either
it.
as the support initiating or the
Ah,
jungler looking for,
20-second
cheeky
nerf.
early
There you
game,
go.
around the mid lane. And for its potency, we've just seen it become more and more the dominant strategy. We want to tone down some of that edge. We still like the playstyle that it
Classic.
encourages. We just wanted to have more of a trade-off compared to other relics. So what we're doing here is we're looking to increase the cooldown and decrease the range, making it so that you have to select your opportunities.
Oh,
more
wow.
carefully, as well as what walls you can leap over with the blink,
Increased
or, like,
cooldown
what
and
distance you can
decreased
cover.
range. That's a big
and then
fat
for the
blink
upgraded
nerf.
Blink Rune, the cooldown is going to remain unchanged
Yep.
at 120 seconds, but we're also decreasing the range on the upgraded version as well.
Correct. So yeah, decreased range on both versions, cooldown increase only on the rank one.
Okay.
The decreased range also is an added incentive to upgrade it so that you can get that.
Interesting.
Especially if you combine with like a relic dagger on a support, you can get that really low. If you choose to spend the 500 gold investment, you can definitely get that cooldown low again.
Exactly. So we're starting things off with the bang for junglers, and we've
Yep.
got another
they're
spicy
getting
jungle
louder.
change coming your way next week on March 10th. Mace, we are decreasing the gold cost by 50 gold.
Yeah, jungler starts
Ooh.
are very particular to each character.
nice.
They often are like kill thresholds on the mini heartbeats, as well as like focus on trying to get a good gank going. In this case, we're actually decreasing the cost that, let's say there is an enemy on the other team that might want to invade you. Often if you went that invading
getting
or
louder,
that Hand of the
louder,
Gods, you couldn't go
louder.
Mace because you wouldn't be able to afford any potions.
Okay.
You might get like a tier 1 Transcendence instead, but then that's a trade-off on power and clear speed. Now you can go Mace, you can get a single potion, and you can get Hand of the Gods, or you can get an extra potion to keep you out longer and keep you fighting if people are trying to pressure
Now
you.
they're like
Right.
really
so
loud.
Definitely looking forward to the
Okay.
jungle starts opening up a little bit
Why is it
more with
so
this
loud
change.
now?
Next up on the list, we've got Shoes of the Magi,
Louise.
and there's been a
Oh my
lot of
God, they're
talk
getting
amongst the
louder!
community about Shoes of the
Why are
Magi
they
and how
getting
Shoes
louder?
Focus is now the kind of standard go-to. So we're making some
Jeez!
changes to kind of make Shoes of the Magi a little bit more appealing. We're adding 8% lifesteal and 100 mana.
Yep. So Shoes of the Magi, we removed the pen and gave it power, but there's only so much power you can give that item because if you just gave it
They
enough
gave
to match
life
the pen loss,
steal
you
to
can start
them.
obliterating anything that doesn't have magic protection, which is
Whoa.
most of the minions and monsters on the map. So rather than
Life
trying to
steal
increase
and
that power to more
mana?
compete with its old standards,
Dude.
we want to give it a new niche identity.
My
and this one is
Bandcroft's
actually
life
sustain.
steal
So you get a
build?
little bit of extra mana to stay out, not as much as Shoes of Focus. But a little extra mana to help you get like 1 or 2 ability casts off, as well as
It's
life steal.
becoming even
The
better.
Anubises in
You're
the
right,
world
it's
are going to
gonna be
like a
nuts.
lot. Any character that has pretty reliable safe poke, if they
Holy.
feel like they might get poked out and not be able to actually stay in lane, they can use this to sustain. So giving it some more
Love
identity.
it.
Cool.
Love
All right,
it.
Our last item for bonus balance, Transcendence. We are making some changes to this
here's
item.
the nerf.
Transcendence
Yep.
is no longer going to provide 10% cooldown
It needed
reduction
that.
on the base
It needed
form,
that.
but the 10% cooldown reduction is going to stay for the evolved form.
Oh.
So rather, it's already a good item when you first purchase it.
Okay.
It's a large amount of power, it's a large amount of mana, and it gave you the CDR. All those
Okay,
combined made
I
made
can
it
see that.
basically like a no-brainer
Yeah.
to go for. Here, now we're going to
I like
actually gate the 10% CDR
cool with
into
that.
the evolved form. So if you do buy it, you have to get some investment out of getting those stacks. You have to actually
Now
build
the
it up to
stacks
get
on
that,
Transcendence
rather than
actually
just getting it
matter.
out the gate.
Cool. All right. Next
like
up,
that.
we're going to move right on to gods. And first up, Kukul Khan. He's been a top
He's gonna
pick,
get
top
nerfed
ban
again.
for our SAC qualifiers, if you guys have been watching that. We're making some changes to Power of the Wind Jewel, which is the passive. We're going to decrease the power gained. And then Spirit of the Nine Winds, we are increasing the cooldown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
so,
it is.
So Cuckoo really kind of rose into prominence once we made some
There
changes to
it
Whirlwind. I feel like
is.
those changes really made that
Oh,
ability feel
20
impactful,
seconds.
feel useful. And we've already
About
partially versioned
freaking
some of those
time.
changes, so
Right.
we've toned down some of that power.
Gosh.
But we don't want to go all the way back because we know where Cuckoo was before that. So rather than revert Whirlwind even more, we're actually focusing Power the Wind Jewel, which is this passive component that gives him a lot of power. Taking that takes the edge off kind of all of his abilities, and its ultimate, especially with like the slow from the 1 and teams being able to really play around this, it feels like it's more akin to actually needing a full ultimate level cooldown at 90 seconds.
There we
Awesome.
go.
So we're definitely excited to see how those changes come out. Nemesis, next up. God who hasn't seen some love in a long time. We're making some changes to Slice and Dice, decreasing the cooldown by 2 seconds there.
Yeah, so
Nem's like one of the bottom win rates in the game right now. She needs
some people felt very underwhelmed by those changes.
That's a good
but we
change.
also knew that
These are all good
we were
changes
going to have a
so
lot of
far.
jungle meta shifts. We're going to see how Hand of the Gods interacted with everything, see how the new map interacted with everything, and so we were kind of conservative with those changes. But we saw that, yeah, Nemesis needs more than just a little bit of a scaling increase. And so decreasing Slice and Dice will give her better clear as well as better poke options when like ganking or just like trying to pressure different lanes.
So good.
All right, that wraps up the change for Nemesis. Next up, we've got Odin.
It's getting quieter
again. A little
again.
bit too hard on people after that.
It's getting quieter again.
So we're making some changes here to kind of bring them back in line. First up, we've got Raven Shout, decreasing the physical power scaling on the shield there. Making a change to Gungnir's Might, where we're decreasing the physical power scaling of the spear throw. And then finally, we're increasing the cooldown on Ring of Spear.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just a bit too
nerf,
effective all over the place.
nerf,
dude. He could put out the amount he could sustain
Goodbye,
himself
Dunk
shield.
Daddy.
We're just taking some of the power out of that. So the bird bomb damage is going down because that's affected by the shield health.
The blink
His
nerf
survivability
on
is
top
going
of all
down.
of this?
Some of the
Oh,
extra damage
man.
he gets when he actually throws.
Dunk Daddy
damage
just
going
got
down,
dunked
so overall
on.
less damage and sustain there, as well as Ring of the Spears. That is an ultimate that really controls the fight now, especially with its more wider use cases if people actually escape out of it.
Right.
And so it deserves an ultimate level cooldown of 90 seconds.
Cool. All right. And then last up for bonus balance on the God side of things, we've got Vamana. So the big baby got buffed. And we're going to be toning that down, actually shifting a little bit of the buff a little bit. So for the change, we are now providing the 3% movement speed per stack on successful hit. And it's going to stack up to 5
times.
And this has changed from the 5% movement speed when it was stacking up to 3.
Yeah, so this made his ultimate feel much more
There's
impactful.
keeping the
especially if you
buff,
could
but
successfully
kind
hit
of
targets with
nerfing
it. But the reward is a bit too easy to stack up. So now, if you want to actually get to that full movement speed, you have to get more hits off, which also gives the enemy a more opportunity to juke or try and cancel up time on that.
Cool. All right, that wraps it up for bonus balance heading your way on
those
March
are all
10th. But we wanted to
bonus
take a little bit of time to kind of show off some of the content that's coming your way on March 10th. We're only going to be showing the card art here, but be sure to stay tuned. We've got a live Q&A scheduled for later on in the show where we'll be going in game, showing off more stuff in depth where you guys can be able to hang out with us.
Again.
So the first skin on the list that we're
So
going to be
those
showing
come
you
out in a
guys
week.
is Neon
All
Rebellion
those changes
Rama.
come out in a
this
week.
One, the card art looks super sick.
Plus
It's got
these
the
skins, and then
cyberpunk
everything
vibe.
after.
I love
It just got super quiet again.
So
I don't know what to do.
And it's been a while since Rama got
I'm
a
just
skin
gonna
too, so this
keep
one is
turning them up
definitely
and
gonna be
down or
met
something.
with,
I don't
a lot
know.
of awesome reception to the
I gotta wonder
community.
what that ult looks like.
Oh yeah, I know, it's gonna be awesome. All right,
Cool looking
next up
skin.
on the list, Adventurers Guild Bastet. And if you've been paying attention, this was actually teased at our last hi-rez presents during the Smite portion of the video.
I do not approve of furry skins.
Oh, those cats are so cool.
I don't approve.
Yeah, I know. This one's got the JRPG vibes. It's looking really awesome. And then last up on the list, we want to remind you that the final event reward for Jade Corruption, where Rama and Bastet skins are going to be gotten, is the Hydro Machina Poseidon skin there. And we showed it on the last update show, but be sure you buy all 3 bundles in the Jade Corruption event to get this awesome unlimited skin. All right, and then our last skin that's coming your way on March 10th, it's going to be Funpocalypse Uller. This one is just so silly. He's ready to start some mischief.
It's so creepy. Like all it takes is like having like that cartoony mask is so fun, but then you see all the apocalypse in the background, and it is just.
I know. He's just
creepy.
like, this is kind of in the same vein as the Shibalanke skin that came out, and the duck head is what sets it off for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
A little
gonna
scary.
be awesome. So all that stuff, the bonus balance we just
That
went
goes
over,
well with the,
and the content
Shibalanke
that's coming
skin.
your way. Look forward to that Tuesday, March 10th. But now we've got some super exciting esports news. Be sure to check this out.
Oh, I will.
You know, Isaiah, the more I think about it, the more we should just go back to the Cobb Energy Centre. The fans loved it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, let's ask Spark.
Hey, Bob, what do you think about going back to hi-rez Expo at the Cobb Energy Centre?
Cobb Energy Center. We miss you. We miss you.
I like it.
Well, just as you saw there,
We
hi-rez
predicted
Expo
this.
2021
We predicted this.
is going to be happening back at Cobb. Kind of fun, right? They're going to be back
The
in
Cobb
where it all
Energy
started,
Center
right?
is
So,
way more fun.
I think so.
Way
Yeah.
more
Like
fun
going on.
for
Plus, it's back
Smite
in
than
January. I know
DreamHack
that
was.
date does work better for some people too. So happening back January 8th through the 10th at the Cobb Energy Center. That's pretty cool. Anything else you want to tell us about that? When can people start picking up tickets? And stuff?
Oh, it's in
So tickets
January
go on sale
again.
The same day that SPL goes live. It's going to be a big day, March 14th. And you can go to hi-rezexpo.com for more information.
That's right. Go ahead and
It's
pick
back
up
in
those tickets as
January,
soon as
January
possible. That way
8th
that
through
we know that
10th
you'll be there.
again.
Haven't figured out what I'm going to be
Is
doing
when
for everyone
the,
that ends up coming to
is
the
when
event. Let
Worlds
me
is.
workshop that as we get closer to the event. So let's talk a little bit more about some other esports news going to be happening in the next few weeks. First thing is, as you said, the SPL is going to be starting March 14th, and schedules and stuff like that are out now, so you can go ahead and see when your favorite teams are playing.
Yeah, exactly. The match schedule is now available in-game in the Esports and live stream tab, so you can go check that out, see when your favorite team is going to play, and pick up some cosmetics to support your squad at the same time.
That sounds good. I've already picked up my Ghost stuff. You know your boy
Good choice.
been in a Roar stand for a minute now, so I got to
Who
support him.
isn't?
It's hard not to be, right? Got to support him as soon as that is available. Next thing to talk about, the SCC group stages are going to be happening this weekend too, so make sure you all tune in to check those out.
Yeah, these guys have been fighting really, really hard for several weeks to secure a spot in these group stages, and now only the best of the best are actually going to qualify to phase 1 of the SCC.
I imagine it's going to be pretty grueling, but even if they do not make it, it's not going to be necessarily the end of the road for them. The open circuit bracket, that's going to be starting on March 7th, I believe. Right?
Yeah,
Anyone
that's
can play in
really
that.
soon. It's coming up really fast. So the open circuit is an entry-level bracket that anyone can join. So if you have a team of 5 people and you think you have what it takes to go pro, well, you should definitely sign up.
Yeah, this is your chance to kind of put your money where your mouth is and come in and play with some of your friends and
I'm looking at you, Twitch chat.
see if you can win some Smite games. That's right, Twitch.
You can also play in the Incon sub-tourneys on Sundays
Sundays
for a $500 prize
And
pool.
then I did also want to let you all know one more thing. If you want to see that, to sign up, that's esports.smitegame.com if you want to be in that open bracket. And then also we got the Wednesday content block coming up here as well. So just a reminder, there's a ton of new broadcast stuff that's happening. That's all centered around Smite.
Yeah, lots of great studio shows going on. You can learn how to play Smite. You can watch the pros do some stuff. You can get dev insights, all kinds of neat stuff. And you earn viewer points the entire time it's happening.
That's right. Yeah, and my show is happening, going to be happening
Yeah.
too. Game night. If you want to watch me and Dave compete while also playing with some of the cool devs behind the scenes, there's a lot of cool stuff there. And the art show. I know when that show happens, if your stuff gets picked up for that, you could potentially win an avatar in game as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if you submit to the art show or you submit to This Month in Smite and we use your content on the show, you do get an in-game avatar to show that you supported our programming.
Yeah, kind of like that Forge Breaker
Just kinda
title.
waiting
So a
for
lot
the
of cool stuff that you can
next
potentially
stage of
earn just
whatever
from
we're doing
watching,
here.
hanging out, and enjoying all the Smite-related content. But that's going to do it for us here on the barrel set, I
Yeah.
suppose. Here talking about esports. Let's get it back over to Isaiah and AJ. They got a little bit more to tell us about.
There we go. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks so
What's
much,
up,
Aubrey
Isaiah?
and Finch. Hi-Rez Expo 2021, January 8th through 10th. Be sure to mark those calendars and get ready for tickets to go on sale next Saturday, March 14th. But now it's time for us to go over everything headed your way in the 7.3 update when it goes
So-
live on March 24th. We're going to kick things off with
So
balance.
this,
and for that,
all
I've
of
got
this
AJ
stuff they're
Lee
talking
designing
about
with me.
now,
How you
guys,
doing,
this
man?
is the patch at
Great.
the end
I'm
of the
super
month.
stoked about
So
that
everything
hi-rez
before
Expo
this
announcement.
point,
Yeah,
Can't
I
wait.
know.
It's gonna be
I
so
cannot
In a
wait
week.
to go back to the Cobb
everything
Energy Center. There's
after
something
this
about the
point,
vibe in that
end of
arena
March.
when esports is
Okay?
going on.
Remember, there's the
Yeah,
two
it's
patch
gonna be
system
awesome.
now
So we're
for
gonna kick things
2020.
off with item balance coming on March 24th, and let's get right into it. We've got Mage's Blessing, the evolved form. We're going to be
Ooh,
increasing the
yeah.
magical power from 20
Oh,
to 30.
there you go.
So Mage's Blessing has fallen out of favor a little
how'd
bit
the
here.
audio get
We've been seeing a lot
worse?
of the artifact rush. We've been seeing some
I don't know
Bancroft's
Right.
rush.
A little bit
you
of
know.
T2 book.
Yeah, yeah. So of course, there's always the book starts, and the Mage Blessing just kind of fell off. So we wanted to up that a little bit. Now we adjusted the boots as well. So we're splitting those changes up between the bonus balance and the actual patch, which is going to be interesting to see how Mages kind of adjust their
okay.
starts 2 times in the next couple weeks.
Cool, awesome. So next up, we've got another mage item, Enchanted Ring. We're increasing the cost from 1,100 to 1,300,
1,300.
and we're also going to be increasing the
Interesting.
power from 40 to 55.
Right, so we've been
Okay.
trying to smooth out the power curves for Mage ADCs, especially in those ring items. This
Hmm.
one still felt a little awkward. It was like really cheap, but not cheap enough where it felt like you could get it at a meaningful time, but then it felt really weak, and then you had this weird gap before you could upgrade it. So we increasing the
Okay.
power and increasing the cost, so that should make it feel better to buy at that in-between stages.
Interesting.
Cool. All right, and then last up for item
Oh, yeah.
changes on March 24th. It's been kind of the talk of the town recently. Devourer's Gauntlet. We're going to be increasing the base physical lifesteal from 10% to 15%.
There you go.
Right,
Diva
so
Gloves have
there's
sucked
always
for
the
forever.
Devourers versus Transcendence.
There you
This is
go.
the-
And now Bloodforge is in the mix.
Right,
Yeah.
so Bloodforge has actually taken a place in
nice.
Transcendence as something that you don't have to stack. stack.
There you
so
go.
people are running Transcendence, or even just if they're not going stacks
Yep,
at all,
yep.
they can fit in that item. So we want to make sure that there's a good balance between all of those
That's a
items.
good buff.
Transcendence, as we already saw, got a little nerf. So Devours is also getting a little buff. We're making sure not to go overboard on Devour's Gauntlets. We know there's a lot of people in the community really thinking like Devours needed a lot. But with these other changes in
not
context,
bad.
I think it makes sense to make
That's
a
not a
small
bad
change
change.
here,
Devo Gloves
trying to
will
make sure
come
we
back
don't
to the
overdo
meta, I
things
think,
like,
with
you know,
that.
the old
At
days
least
of,
for like
Wukong and
duo lane,
Bluestone,
probably.
Like radical changes at the same time, right? That can always cause issues. So excited to see how the Transcendence Devours shift really opens up some more Hunter options.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how those early Hunter builds kind of shake out once these changes goes live.
For sure.
All right, next up we're gonna right into gods, and we've got a spicy one to start off with. Aphrodite.
A buff?
We're gonna make a change to Kiss. We're gonna be reducing the cooldown on that, and then Lovebirds. We're now adding an initial hit to this ability.
Yeah, these are both impactful changes. Now, we know the community has been really lately. There's a lot of reasons why that could be. It is not because of her stats, though. Like, she is performing pretty
That's
well.
interesting.
In many
Yeah, go
places.
and check the Smite GG.
a
real
nice,
quick.
Yeah, she does well, but she's very, very low play count. A lot of players
Not a
feel
bad
like,
change
you know,
for her.
people, when they counter build her properly, can shut her down. Healing is still very strong.
like
in the game,
that.
Though we don't
like
feel
that.
like we want to be adjusting anti-healing and a lot of those rules. Those counters need to exist, but we wanted to make sure that we could address some of the key impact of Aphrodite.
I like that.
So that Lovebirds change, that's always a feels good. Like, it feels kind of strange in Smite to be hit by something but not have damage or CC apply right away, and then it takes some additional time. That's going to just make the ability feel a lot more responsive. It's also adding a significant amount of total damage to the ability. So
here.
I think mid full damage Aphrodite is going to be back in the meta after this change. It's going to be very interesting. The Kiss also just
work.
quality of life. You're often changing that
didn't
around.
work.
You get the cooldown reduction
I
for
could
hitting
try
allies, but
something.
you
It
need it
didn't
as a
work.
core CC. So these are two impactful changes, and the community's really down on Aphrodite. I hope that they feel a lot better after these changes, and we see her win rate go even higher.
Nice, nice. All right, next up, we've got Cerberus. We're going to be making some changes to his base stats here. We're going to be increasing the HP per level from 86 to 95.
86
Yeah,
to
Cerberus, he
95.
struggled a little bit. He got
I feel
buffs
like Cerberus is
a little
actually
ways
in a good
back.
spot, dude.
Still right on the edge. We were talking with a lot of the pro players about which supports and solo laners were feeling good, which ones were feeling a little outside the edge of the meta.
he's in a good
So
spot.
Cerberus,
Oh, God.
this HP buff.
What's
this
happening
is the,
with the
it says
audio?
base, which might be misleading, but this is the
Why?
HP per level.
Ah, yes.
So you see here, that's a 9 HP per level. That adds up times 20. Like,
Right.
That's an item.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So that's gonna be pretty impactful.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got another one of those feels good changes that we were talking about. We've got Guan Yu, Warrior's Will. We are going to be removing the camera lock whenever you use this ability.
Now, I've argued with the players many times on what is a quality of life.
Right.
And then we've even had to decide the term quality of life buff, which is still technically a buff, but quality of
Remove the
life. This is
camera
true
lock.
quality of life. This
Okay.
doesn't necessarily make the character any stronger in any way. It's
That's
purely
interesting.
based on certain players' usability. And most
That's kinda
dashes and
funny,
things like that,
actually.
many dashes, you can rotate the camera while the character is moving. This one is extremely fast and extremely short, so this is a very minor change, but we hope that some of the Guan Yu specialists out there, some of us internally were doing some more Guan Yu testing, and we felt this felt strange, a little inconsistent. So this will help you
kind
better
of a
set
weird
up
thing,
for your follow-up
but whatever,
attacks
I guess,
after
right?
using the dash.
Awesome. Yeah. Hopefully this ability feels a little bit better whenever you fire.
I
it
just
again.
love a true quality. It's
Yeah.
rare. It's real rare. Someone out there is probably like, no, it's a buff. You're wrong, Ajax. I'm sure it's already flying through chat, but you know.
It's already
this
flying,
is a
guys,
pretty interesting
flying
change.
through
Nice,
chat.
yeah, definitely excited to see that one. We got Merlin up
Flying.
next. Getting a little bit of a nerf. We're going to be decreasing the magical power scaling on Dragonfire from 25%
Okay.
to 20%. And then Elemental Mastery, we're decreasing the magical power scaling
Good.
from 20% to 15%.
Now, we've nerfed Merlin a few times.
Yeah.
He has responded to them. He's moving down. He's still very high pick and ban
Yes, he
and
is.
performance, especially in the higher
Yes,
ranked
he
play
is.
and pro
He's
play.
a
That a
lot.
lot of pro players been requesting nerfs for him. We've seen that he's
lot of
still
Marlin.
doing quite well. These two changes meant to address
That'll help a
two
little
key
bit.
parts of his damage. Mostly
That'd be
Dragonfire,
kinda nice.
that's for objective secure. And if you get caught in that, the amount of damage is pretty
Yeah, it
absurd.
just like chunks you.
Yeah, and then the Elemental Mastery, that's that close area effect pulse out you get from all of his different stance changes once you rank them up. That's scaling damage going down as well, which that's not going to affect a lot of players, but it is very impactful at the pro play. You'll see a lot of the more skilled Merlin players will get into that tight range where they can hit you with that ability as well as their 1-2 from 2 different stances plus the ultimate, it really adds up. So this will take a little bit of damage out of that full rotation.
Cool. So Merlin the Master
not
Wizard
bad.
still mastering those elements, but just a little bit less potent on a couple of the
Bad.
All right, next up we've got a fun one. New Wa. We're making some changes to Clay Soldiers. We're increasing the base movement speed from 365 to 425.
All right,
And then
interesting.
we're actually decreasing the cooldown from 18 seconds to 16 seconds there.
Right, so this ability is kind of like a catalyst for her kit.
Interesting.
A lot of her kit has synergy with it. I mean, the Shining
They're going to be
does.
zooming, plus
fog
reducing
is
the
a cool way to,
cooldown.
like,
That's
send
a
the minions
huge
and
new
stuff,
wah
or to,
buff.
like, speed
Zoom,
yourself
zoom,
up, set
baby.
yourself up. So this ability kind of had a core.
Zoom,
core
zoom, my
involvement in her kit,
soldiers.
And it felt a little underwhelming. Now these minions, they
Light
have that dash, but if
speed,
they don't
dude.
catch up through that, oftentimes they feel like laughably slow. But now it's like they buy boots almost, as if the game goes on. So they get a little faster, and the cooldown there is going to matter a lot. 'Cause they can put out a lot of
zoom.
damage. The Shining Metal
That's
also has very low
hilarious.
cooldown already, so you're not going to be bottlenecked by that for doing the combo explode, which is very potent if you hit it properly.
Oh, yeah.
Another character that the players really, we could tell
like
that people
it.
were not picking her up as much as she used to be. People really just feel like she didn't have a place in the meta right now. We tried to find a couple really like
not gonna be a
fun
Athena.
buffs throughout this patch. Normally what we call them in like our
Started to do
internal
well.
phrasing, some fun buffs. We really try to find characters that players are really down on, try to give them something
have no
meaningful
idea
and
who it is.
impactful, and make sure that they can compete.
Cool. All right, next up, we've got Oleron. So we made a change to one of the magical
Oh, he was
ADC
talking about
items.
new
We
Wa
actually
still.
got
I thought he was
a
talking
couple of
about another
mage
god they
ADC
were gonna buff.
changes. Oleron's going to be the first of those. First up for Oleron, Touch of Fate. We are increasing Oleron's critical hits from 50% to 60% damage.
really?
Focus to Light, we are increasing the damage
Wow.
on that. And then Consecration, we are increasing the slow from 20% to 30%.
Wow.
So we did
Wow.
try to adjust some of the mage
Interesting.
ADC items to make mage
I actually
ADC
find
feel better,
Oleron pretty
but
decent
they're
right
still
now.
underperforming in season
So-
7. I know there was a lot of debate about that with all the changes at 7-1.
That's like-
and
that's
we
like
are
significant.
pretty clearly seeing now in the stats.
I already
the
found
mage
that he was
ADCs are
pretty good.
underperforming. That's why Oleron here is getting some pretty significant
that's
buffs.
nice.
You're going to see some pretty significant buffs from another mage ADC coming up. And
Probably Freya,
I think
right?
a lot of people have expressed interest in this, and they're really feeling it. So,
Well, that's
we've seen Oleron maybe show up in some high-level play, like very
a
rarely.
big all-around
ultimate
buff.
is still
That's
super
significant.
It is impactful, but he has a very weak early game. He
Are they
could
doing it
have
in
a
alphabetical
really
order?
Struggle to lane clear and appeal for himself, especially in the very early game.
They are,
That
right? So
slow
it
is
has
gonna
to be
do a lot
Soul.
to help that.
They
And,
have to be buffing
a little
Soul.
bit of
They're
that
doing it in
damage buff as
alphabetical
well. So
order.
I'm excited to see him. Hopefully, he
Sometimes
can feel
they do,
like he's
sometimes
not
they
just
don't.
alt buff,
But I
as
think
they
this
say,
time they have been,
You know,
so.
we don't like it whenever a character.
So they're
feels like
buffing
that. That's
Soul.
not our intent. So this should help him feel like his whole kit is more cohesive and powerful.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got another mage, and it's Persephone. And there's a little bit to unpack here.
You're gonna
so
read all
I'm
those?
gonna go through the changes first, and then kind of let you explain.
Okay,
So
okay.
the major change here is going to be to Harvest. For general, we're decreasing the pre-fire time from 0.2 seconds to 0.1 second. And then we're decreasing the minimum distance between harvest placements from 5 units to 2.5 units. And still with Harvest, but on the Sprout version, we are decreasing the time the base harvest plant takes to evolve from 4 seconds to 2.5 seconds. And then Harvest, the flower version, we're decreasing the time the base harvest plant takes to evolve into a flower from 24 seconds to 16 seconds. We are decreasing the chase time from 3 seconds to 2.2 seconds and increasing the flower movement speed from 440 to 600. And then last on the ultimate,
just buff the
we're
crap
decreasing
out
the
of her?
speed at which the tether reaches out and grabs you by 50%, and then we're decreasing the attack speed penalty on that ultimate ability as well.
Okay, right. Like you
Yes,
said, that was a
lots
lot.
of lots
I mean,
to unpack.
So Persephone is a complex character. She's also a complex character to balance as she is to play. We see that her win rates are pretty clearly low
Interesting.
everywhere. And this is a common thing we see with difficult to play gods.
They really
but
buffed
she's
her.
still a high priority in pro
Like,
play.
hard.
She still has specialists who can dominate with her. So we're trying to make her a little bit more
Interesting.
consistent throughout a lot of those changes. Trying to rough out some of the edges when it comes to actually using Harvest and using it as a damaging ability since
Okay.
it's so different. And then
Decrease
we're also
the
looking
speed
at
at which
decreasing
tether
just the
will reach
general
the gravity.
effectiveness of
Okay.
her ultimate. A lot of players felt like Persephone gets by on her ultimate being so good that even if you're not good at the rest of her kit, you can still perform okay by throwing out a few good ultimates.
Okay.
Again, like
Okay,
we
I
kinda
can see
mentioned
that.
earlier on, we want to make this kit feel more balanced across.
That
kits,
that
not
was so
necessarily
many
just in
changes
scope
that
for
you'll
the
have
rest
to
of
like
the
play
game.
against it.
So
and
really,
with it
what
to
you're going to
it,
see
you
here
know?
is Harvest is going to be a little less restrictive on the placement, so you can place things closer, you can place them quicker. They're also going to upgrade a little quicker. Now the plants change, that's a big one too, because we've adjusted this a few times. We're trying to get the right level of having this AI-driven character that feels dodgeable but still scary.
Yeah, trying to hit that sweet spot.
Right, so people have learned that you can kind of dodge the flowers pretty easily by running right at them, running past the cone. You can still do that now, but they're going to move faster and they're going to chase you. So you're going to have actually a harder time when you're running away. So you need to be a little bit more aware of what the flowers are doing. You need to really commit to dodging them, or you're going to need to like leap away, or you need to have some fast movement speed to get away from them. It's going to make them a lot more consistent.
That's a
And
buff.
then grasp with death, that additional tether, which is very strong. That has some tween time. When you enter the area, the vine kind of reaches out to you. We're slowing that down so you have more time to be like, ooh, here it comes, and back out, so you don't get trapped there with the target. It's a very strong CC, so that's going to give you more time to react. And the attack speed penalty on the person trapped is being nerfed, so they'll be able to break themselves out more easily. So
I mean, her
two big
ulti
nerfs
did
to
get
the ult.
nerfed.
You could say a series of buffs to harvest. Again, this character's win rate is really low across the board. So we're trying to even that out.
It'll be interesting to see how it works
Very
out.
interested to see how she goes forward with this. We're committed to making sure that Persephone stays
The plants are really fast. 600 movement speed at the end of the game is like blazing fast.
And the pro players specifically have often expressed their frustrations at just how good that ultimate is. So we would love to adjust this kit to where it feels like her kit works together, as opposed to someone just kind of fumbling through this mini game mechanic and then shooting a big ultimate.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty big shift for Persephone. I'm curious to see where she lands after everything.
She is a crazy character to work with. You know, shout outs to Pon Pon for his dedication to this character. She is tricky to work with. And shout outs to the players for keep playing her, keep testing her, and the pros for being so communicative about her
Most
strengths
definitely.
and her weaknesses.
Yeah.
So thank
Cool.
you.
All right, next up. Wait, did you work this in? This wasn't on my initial notes. This is a Sobek buff. We've
Everybody
got
thinks of me as the Goobus main. They
Right?
don't know
Yeah.
about closed beta Ajax. They only played Sobek. I mean,
Exactly.
I do like to tell that story.
So we've got some changes to his base stats here. We're increasing the HP per level
Sobek.
from 86 to 95.
Nice.
And then Sickening Strike, we're increasing the healing per hit from 20 to 60 to 30 to 70.
I thought it was from 20 to 60. I'm like, wow, that's huge! 20 to 60 to 30 to 70. Okay.
Don't let you get the sustain.
Now I
unless
see.
you're with somebody
I was
else.
like, what
So
the?
that strategy is
More sustain though.
significantly weakened, or at
30
least
at
we haven't seen
30
it
per
yet.
level. That's
We've
nice.
seen some Guardians, but they're usually not going Guardians Blessing. They have to play more actively. This might bring him back a little bit, but he's been really struggling. He hasn't been a real popular support pick lately. He hasn't been a real popular solo pick. He's getting similar changes as to Cerberus. He had kind of strangely low base HP per level for how, all in he is. His ultimate does a pretty good job of peeling and escaping, but he has to charge prey into the fight, and if you mess that up, you're going to take a lot of damage. Even if you hit someone, most of the time, you're going to take a lot of damage. So this is going to feel better.
I don't mind a
for him.
Sobek
Also,
buff.
just giving him a little
Sobek's
bit of
one of
that
my most
sustain.
played
It's gonna make him
characters.
feel really
I
good
think
in
people
lane.
forget
Whether
that.
he
I
goes
think he's in my
solo
top
or
5.
support. I'm a Gator fan. I'm happy to see
Amazing.
Played a
Sobek
lot of
coming back,
Sobek.
so.
Awesome. All right, next
love
up, we've
Black.
got that second mage ADC that we're kind of hinting at earlier. Soul getting some buffs here. Unstable manifestation. We're actually making it to where Soul loses heat less fast once the heat starts to decay. And that's going to be a reduction of 25%. Radiance, the damage from this ability will no longer cause minion hit reactions. And last but not least, Supernova, the time between shots is going to be decreased. We're actually increasing the height gain from firing this ability from 10 to 40.
Right, so a few things here. Soul has some very interesting variables to adjust, by the way, as we learned as we were recently restudying her. She's definitely felt weaker to players. We've seen a steep drop-off in her play count, and we've seen a lot of players sharing this.
So they buffed her ulti.
Feel as good as she used to. So this heat reduction, that's actually, there's a little bit of delay where she doesn't lose any heat until if she hasn't gained any, then it starts to lose really fast.
So they buffed her ulti.
That really fast part is what we're slowing down. So it still can be, it feels relatively quick, but it's going to feel a little slower. You'll have a little bit more time to catch up. It won't be as punishing. The Radiance, that's a very specific, if you play a lot of Soul, it's a very specific laning mechanic frustration. This ability is a small circle with pulsing damage, and if minion knockback is on it, it knocks the minions out of the area, and they don't take the full damage. So now it won't do that. When you place it on minions, you're going to keep hitting them. Feels way much. Feels a lot better.
Not a super.
And then finally, Supernova. Now this ability has had a very interesting.
I don't think that was
internal
anything
and external
super
now.
big.
And what we've done here is giving you the same amount of time to place your Supernova targets, But now once they start detonating, they will detonate much faster. So from the first hit to the last hit, those hits happen faster.
Good.
Gives you a better chance of hitting a target multiple times in a row.
Good.
It speeds up just her burst damage. Like if you're using this on a Gold Fury or Fire Giant, it actually puts out that damage faster. It's a pretty intense change. And then finally the heat gain there. It felt
mean, it's
weird
mostly
that on
just
her
an
ultimate
ulti buff.
ability,
We'll
she
see
gained,
how
like,
it
this
goes,
minuscule amount of
you
heat,
know?
Whereas like she gains a lot of heat from Radiance. That
I like
ability
me
is
some
intended to be the
soul,
heat generator, but
especially with
we want
my
this to
new
have that as well.
life
We
steal
want Soul to
boots.
just feel like her kit is not as punishing to itself or counterproductive when she's firing things.
See what I'm
she's going to
saying?
be gaining more heat here too.
Yes, yeah, Soul's kind
Who
of fallen
knows?
out of the meta for a long time, so hopefully we'll be able to see her more in your Conquest games.
Right.
And then our last change for balance here, we've got Xing Tian. We are actually decreasing the
he's getting
duration of the root on Hook Slam, and then Sky Cutting Axe, we are decreasing the damage on that.
Good.
So here's our final meta nerf, as I would say. Although I'm not sure if everybody knows how meta
He's
Xing
still
Tian
He's
is.
flying
very
kinda under
meta.
the radar.
It's crazy how long this guy has flown under the radar. He's insanely good. He has been insanely good since our Project Olympus like hardcore code update to him. He became very strong. He's been a top pro pick, not a super popular normal pick, although his win percentage is through the roof. But the fact that he's just dominating pro play right now made it clear that we needed to see some small adjustment. And,
Very
and
good.
of course, very high ranked play. Very, very popular high ranked pick. Very successful god at those
He's
stages.
very
So,
good.
Wanted to make sure we get more competitive outlook. Maybe make some room for Sobek and Cerberus. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll see. But this character has been doing really well.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up.
I mean,
for
all
the
the
god
balance changes were
coming your way
basically
with
good.
The 7.3 Grim
Except for maybe the
Grim
Persephone
Omens update
one.
goes live on March 24th, tentatively planned. But we actually want to get into another thing that's coming your way March 24th. Smite's got a birthday coming up, and we're actually kind of going all in and going big for this one.
Happy
We've got
birthday.
a brand new birthday event.
Happy
That's
birthday.
all engagement. You guys are going to be able to earn tons of free stuff just by playing Smite whenever the update goes live.
Right, so every year we do something to celebrate kind of our launch day.
Yeah.
So this year we have this beautiful Smite birthday event screen.
Okay.
And it's themed around the beginning of Season 7, the new Joust map, and the launch of Mulan. So you have a kind of Chinese Pantheon aesthetic here. And what you see here is a calendar. And what we're looking at is the fully unlocked version. But as the event progresses, these items are going to light up, and you're going to be able to earn one free reward every single day that this event
just
is
by playing the
ongoing.
game. So the rewards change. Like if you miss a day, you can't go back and get it. So you got to make sure you log in and get the rewards. What we've got jump stamps, avatars. I see a section where you can earn some free Smite gems in there.
Cool.
Plus a ton more. And we actually, if you guys remember, we had the community birthday submission. So a lot of the jump stamps and avatars there are actually community created art. So I got to give a quick
nothing
shout out
against
to
that.
all the people
Fun.
that were chosen. We've got Nianise, Jade Rapid, Kamikaze Draws, Cherry Cake 4, Chess Elf, and Pitar 123.
Nice job with those names, Isaiah.
Yeah, all had content coming in the birthday event. So we're super excited. We're glad that you've hung out with us so long, and just another awesome way to celebrate Smite's birthday.
Really, this is a way of thanking our
That's a
players.
small
Like,
patch.
We really appreciate our community and
We
people's
knew it was
dedication
gonna be
to
a
the
small
game.
patch, but that's a
So
small patch.
This is a cool little event that you'll be able to earn something new every day. You make sure you
Next
play
patch will be
every
big,
day,
'cause
if
next
you miss
patch
one,
after
you can't
this
go
will be
back
Baba
and get
Yaga,
that,
the
that
new
specific
goddess.
day's reward will be gone. And if you play, I think it was 5 or 6 days, you will get an additional bonus reward if you play
Yes.
any of the 5
that's a
days.
pretty-
You'll get
pretty
something
small
there.
patch.
And I think we've stacked the slightly better stuff on the weekends, so some of the
that way it has
cooler
more time to
art,
play, yeah.
avatars, jump stamps. Some of those like are the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you can't play,
When
every
will
day,
it be
you're
in
busy, we
game? March
understand.
10th and March
But we want to make sure
24th.
that everyone can participate. And everyone
First
can get
half of
something.
the
You'll be able
show,
to see the
March
full
10th.
schedule
Second
and
half
how
of the
many
show,
days it
March
counts down.
24th.
So if there's something you really look forward to, you can go ahead and plan ahead to make sure you play. But thank you to everyone out there for playing Smite, and happy birthday again.
Happy birthday, Smite.
We're in Season 7. We're still going strong.
I
you
know, right?
It's beautiful.
And many
thing.
more years to come. All right, that wraps it up for the birthday event. Now it's time to talk about some skins. We've got an all-new battle pass headed your way in the 7.3 update, and it's called Lightbringers, and it is all angels themed, tons of light, and we've got tons of awesome skins in that one.
Skins!
We're actually going to take a little bit. We're going to go over the card art, kind of like what we did earlier. The first skin in the battle pass that we kind of want to show you guys is Divine Right Jing Wei, and the card art is absolutely awesome on that one. I love the light theme skins. Like, I'm a sucker for white.
That could be cool in
like,
game. I
super
could see
light
that being
yellows
cool.
and stuff like that. Jingwei's looking awesome.
White is a really cool color in games. You know, you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
You can see here she has a little bit more of a prismatic kind of vibe, a little colorful.
It's always hard to
and
tell
little bit
how
of
a skin's
high
actually
fashion
going to look from its
feel to
card
it, which
art.
I think
but
fits Jingwei really well.
Could be cool.
And we said angelic, you know, a lot of people imagine some more like golds and oranges, and you're going to see those soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But we found a way to diversify Jingwei, who's a little more fashionable. We have another one who's a little bit more crystalline, and then finally we have someone who is the Archon, really, of the
Right,
update.
exactly.
Which
Yeah,
I
we're going to
mean,
go in game for that one.
and all three of these skins turned out beautifully. I know my Jingwei fans out there, oh hey fams, all y'all
There you
are
go.
excited for this one.
All right, next up, we've got the Battle Pass Recolor. This is Fallen Arbiter Chalk, and this is actually a recolor of the, I forget the name of it, but he had the super huge hammer that came out.
that doesn't seem super in
Yeah,
theme,
kind of
I'd
a
say. A
paladin
little bit
orange
different.
Vibes, yeah.
Kind of paladin theme, and we did a little darker take on this one, more like
little bit different.
Chaos Angel or Fallen Angel, but this is
Feel
an
like we just
angelic
got through the
theme
theme
at
out the window
heart, and we thought it
immediately,
added
but
a
that's fine.
nice, bit of mix up and flavor to the battle pass.
Exactly. All right, next up, we've got Sacred Grounds Geb, which is actually a community concept that we saw on Reddit, and we're super excited for this
That could
one,
be cool.
to make it into this Battle Pass.
Yes, we
Geb deserves a
worked with
skin.
the artist of the original concept to bring this skin to life. Geb has not had a skin in a very
Yeah.
long time, and this one was extremely popular within the community. And you know, since he hasn't gotten a skin in a while, we had some really good ideas, but we thought this one was really cool. He is a walking cathedral.
That is a cool
Which is a
skin.
great way to round out this theme. He's not literally an angel himself. He is like their home, and that is just such
like
a cool
that.
way to do Geb because
I
he's
like that a lot.
the earth personified. So this skin
Cool.
looks really cool.
Works for me.
All right, and we wanted to show you guys our favorite skin from this Battle Pass in game. This is so dope. Radiant Archon Ra. And that Archon, he lives up to the name there. He looks so awesome, and I believe we're actually ready to go in
Okay.
game here. That way
Sure.
you guys can check it out, and just wait till you guys see it. It's super awesome.
We went all out on this skin.
Holy
there you go.
bajolies.
Bringing back some memories to
That's
Archon
a-
Thanatos.
no, that's
If
a
you were
lot of
not able to
wings.
Attain that skin. Here is the next skin, really the first one in the Archon theme since then.
Yes.
Holy.
So we went all out on the wings, the effects.
My
it's
goodness.
Raw. He's got a little bit more of a humanoid appearance to himself. As you see, he doesn't have a bird beak anymore in
Right,
that
yeah.
helmet, which I think is
That's
really
a
cool
pretty
twist on
cool
Raw.
looking heel.
He just makes so
I
much
gotta
sense for an
say.
angelic
Those
character
effects are
since
so
he's a
good.
light god, you know, a sun god. Yeah, this skin is straight up gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
The
definitely a
effects,
pretty
The
skin.
wings, like, it's so crazy. Look at that.
Oh, that's a cool-
Just
that's
that
a cool
beam of light
sound on the
just shooting
ulti.
right at you. I think I see some sort of like symbols and
That's
engrams
kind of-
when he's
that's a
charging
cool
it up.
ult.
Right.
The effects team went all out on this one.
Just look at all the detail in there. Yeah, the effects team.
I gotta
really-
say, though,
they
I
went
gotta
all
say,
out.
Cool. Well, that is Radiant Archon Ra. Let's go
won't
ahead and
stop
take
me
a
from
listen
using
to the
Raw
voice back.
America.
I will not suffer your presence. We have been watching, and you have all been judged as irredeemable. I bring the heavenly armies to purge this land. Let evil be cleansed.
Cool. Well, that is Radiant Archon Ra.
Can't
coming your
tempt-
way
you
in the
can't
next
tempt me
Battle
away
Pass.
from the
And we
great
got another skin
America.
coming up your way on March 24th. We've got Bone Chiller Scotty as a part of the Ghostmancer chest. We just saw a whole lot of light skin, so we got to bring things over to the dark side a little bit. This one kind of reminded me of that old Fiend Hunter Artio skin, where it's more Victorian,
It's
right?
like strange
AJ?
music
Interesting
playing in the
take on a horror
background.
theme. Yeah, you can see Scotty here has a ghost dog instead of an elemental ice dog.
It's like I'm in an
those,
airport
She's
bathroom.
got some really interesting kind of creepy bits to her armor, almost like spider legs there that have replaced her normal
yeah, it's really
antlers
creepy.
headdress back armor. It's very interesting for sure. I'm really excited to see this one.
Cool. All right, that wraps it up for the Ghostmancer chest. We've got a whole lot of content, and just a reminder, we're only going through the card art. If you guys want to stick around and see some of that more stuff in game, we're going to be doing a live Q&A later on in the show with Tina and Clumsy, so be sure to stay tuned. But I've got Tina here, and I've got Chris Lee from the effects department here to kind of break down Smite's newest event, Grim Omens. How you guys doing, Chris and Tina?
Pretty good, man.
Good. Yeah, excellent.
Awesome. So we've got a
What's
brand new
happening?
major event coming to Smite called Grim Omens. It's the patch namesake. AJ, what's going on in Grim Omens?
So our event's always following the core storyline of Smite. This is going to follow Mulan as she goes through her adventure and meets the next upcoming gods. She's going to be you know, she's new to this whole godliness thing, so she's going to be seeking out some allies from the gods. Specifically, Guan Yu kind of takes her under his wing and is going to guide her towards the way she can meet with the rest of the gods. She's going to encounter a kind of strange ally along the way in the name of Persephone, who, you know, she's made a lot of mistakes, so naturally she's seeking out some goddess who might not be aware of all those things that she's done, and she's going to do her best to make things right, even though things went pretty horribly wrong. And we're going to see these grim omens, these signs of something scary to come.
Well, I've seen the omens, and they're definitely grim. So
it's gonna unfold to a very exciting.
I got to admit, I don't know the Smite lore at all.
Super exciting.
Like,
so just a couple of things to break down the.
I gotta be real. I don't know the Smite storyline. I know there's like their own lore with all the gods and stuff.
Brand new tier 5.
Man, I got nothing.
As the final reward, you guys may have seen it in the blog
literally
post
no
yesterday,
idea what's happening in the
Totem Collar Hou
storyline.
Yi is the ultimate reward for this event, and it's going to be available.
Which isn't to
when
say
the event
that it's
starts,
not
because we've
supposed
got
to be
buy
good.
all,
I don't
right?
know. Maybe it is good.
It's
I
gonna
just
be
don't
awesome.
know.
So this is a chapter-based event, and every chapter has a chest with 6 items. If you unlock all the items in the chest, then you get an event reward. And then if you unlock all 24 items in the event, you get the Totem Collar Hou Yi tier 5 skin. And we're actually making a little bit of changes here. It's going to be awesome. Every chapter is going to be discounted when it's live. And also, every skin in the event is going to have a direct purchase option for 750 gems. And those skins are going to be direct purchase forever.
Right.
Super exciting.
Forever?
So all the chapter rewards.
Only 750
every
gems.
Chapter has quests.
6 chests.
And Tina, do you kind of want to break down how the quests work in this event?
Yeah, so when you purchase an item from a chapter, you unlock that chapter's quests as well. So, and each chest, there's going to be 2 quests per chapter, and each chest, God damn it. Each quest, sorry. Each quest will reward 50 gems.
So you get gems back for, you only have to get one thing from each chapter and you can get gems back. And actually there are 4 chapters this year, so that means even more quests to get gems back and even more free tier 4 reward skins. So on your way to the tier 5, you'll actually get 4 skins for free on the way, where you usually used to get 3.
Yeah. If my quick maths are
Just a
if we're
great
going
number.
right,
You can
that's
get 4
total, like,
skins.
400
You guys hear
free
that?
gems that
I
you're
wonder
able
if
to
one
get
of them
from
will
the
be a
event,
Thor
which is
skin.
Super awesome.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So speaking of the awesome content in the event, we're going to go ahead and show off some of the card art here for the Chapter 1 skins in Grim Omens. If you guys want to, take a look at it in game, be sure stay tuned for the live Q&A. But the first one that we want to show off, Demon's Bane Merlin. And
There's
my
some
guy
more
is looking
skins.
so
Holy
clean
cow,
in
there's
that
a lot of
suit.
skins in
Look
Smite,
at that.
He is
Right?
handsome. Yeah. Even Tina made a little noise before you came up on screen. She was anticipating.
It's like,
Right? She was ready.
it's like
if you
Merlin
if
if
you wanna
Merlin
see
was
all
from
the
The
details about
Magicians.
this beautiful gentleman, stick around after the show. Tina will walk you through and talk about her favorite parts of the skin and just show off. This skin turned out really well.
Yeah.
I really like this
Burn
fashionable
me,
look.
Daddy.
He is clean stepping on the scene, as I like to say.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the kind of modern day witch hunter, demon slayer types of themes we've explored a little bit. Not too far off from the Scotty theme, I guess you could say, but clearly in a different faction or a different alliance than her. And you can see there he's kind of relying on some sort of a demonic energy for his powers.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also got a little bit of a gadget steampunk type of feel to him, right, Chris?
Yeah. Nice.
It's a very interesting take on Merlin, and I'm really happy with what the effects team was able to do there. It's very, very unique and novel.
Cool. All right. Next up is Brood Mother Medusa, and I don't want to stay on this too long, but we got to show it. It's real creepy. What do you guys think?
It's nasty. It's real nasty, dude.
Yeah.
It is badass, is what it is.
That's a
it's scary
creepy idea.
and it's creepy, and we wanted to try something really different. A lot of our team struggles with this skin. But if you really want to strike fear into the hearts of your opponents and possibly allies, then go ahead and check this one out.
Yeah, if you play the skin against me,
I'll play this skin. I'll play that skin.
Just F16.
No, I'm out.
And as usual, someone will find a way to like slow time down and take a look at her face.
Exactly,
It's real scary too. Which is
all right.
It's hard to get a good look at it, but it's worth
And
it.
her
All right. The
little
next
legs,
one that we're
enemy.
going.
Yeah.
Her little legs are like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. All right, next up on the list, because I can't look at this too long, Primal Vengeance Nemesis, another skin in the first half of the Chapter 1 of Grim Omens.
This one's
in the line of that Primal Hunter Ares skin.
Somebody's going to
really
cover
cool. I just love the armor accents on these types
their
of skins.
chest for warfare. I'm
Really
telling
cool kind
you,
of fantasy adventurer style armor.
Once they figure
felt
out
really fitting
to
Nemesis
cover
with
up
her
their
normal
soft
style
spots,
headdress
they're going to
and
be
kind of covering her face
unstoppable,
partially, so
these
the
goddesses.
skull
Let me tell you.
and her, you know, the sword they went all
Nobody
on, so
will
it's
be
sweet.
able
All right.
The
and
color
they
of
go
the armor is really
Yeah.
bright.
To bring them
actually, when you
down.
see it.
Oh, I like that.
It stands out a lot.
Nice. All right, the last card art that we want to show, we want to give you guys an early sneak peek at Chapter 1's unlimited skin reward, MedTech Aphrodite.
So you'll get this one.
Funny enough, the only one that
complete
Still
actually
a few more
makes
skins to
sense.
complete the chapter that we haven't shown yet. We're going to show next update.
Exactly.
Funny enough.
So, yeah, this is a Tier 4 Aphrodite. Definitely, you know, we've had a lot
Unstoppable,
of
dude.
feedback
She's
about
unstoppable
Aphrodite
now. Look at this.
not
Look at
having
this.
a skin that like really
She got
adds,
buffed,
like, a
now she's
full punch to
unstoppable.
her. A lot of her
I bet you
skins
if you
are very
use that
elegant,
skin, you
and
can't
she's
lose the
wearing
game.
kind of a similar clothing
Impossible.
style. But this one we really pushed it. Now she has these like mechanical gun, like what are they, Tina? They're like healing
they're
beam
healing beam
guns
Yeah.
on her shoulders,
rays.
and a whole new treatment on her outfit and her cloth. And she
Literally
even has this
unkillable,
little
man.
med tech drone that
Yeah,
hangs
the
out with her,
drone.
and it talks, right?
I love the little derp
it
face
says,
on there.
It says one line.
Oh yeah, he's used in an ability, and he's got his catchphrase that
Yeah.
he says when he uses when he's using his ability.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right,
really
MedTech
cool.
Aphrodite, that is your unlimited Chapter 1 reward. But we got to talk about the ultimate Grim Omens
Holy
reward.
cow.
Tier
So
5,
many skins,
Totem
guys.
Caller,
They don't
Hou Yi. And AJ, I'll kind of let you take the reins on this.
So yeah, we'll set the stage for Hou Yi
There's always
takes the
more
place
skins.
of a shaman of a fantasy universe where he has meditated alone in nature and trained and triumphed and eventually gained the ability to command the power of these spirit animals or
I'm sorry.
totem
I just want to clarify.
And what we've
1,
done here is
2,
a completely new take on a
3,
Tier 5
4.
skin. First
He
of all, it's got a
meditated
brand
with
new
foreskin?
theme, something not quite like we've ever done before.
Just to
We've
clarify.
also got
Just to
all of these
clarify.
pets. These are going to all be
Just to-
with Hou Yi throughout combat.
Just saying, he could have spent
there
a
is
lot
one
of time out there in the
for each of
forest.
his
A lot of time.
abilities and for his basic attacks.
All by himself.
And they all have names that Tina has given so cutely.
Meditating.
And you will see them throughout his kit during his animations, as he runs around, during his idles, his run, his taunts, laughs, and jokes. He will have a special emote that actually has 3 special emotes where each interacts, spends a little extra quality time with each of the 3 creatures for
Exactly.
his core 3 abilities. And his armor still changes now.
Yes,
this
what
is
level
the
does he
armored up
evolve?
version,
Yes.
level 10. There's the
Damn, son!
level 1 through 9.
He
version,
handsome!
where you can see
Holy!
that beautiful face. that
Son, you
our-
don't need to
our
meditate out in the
modelers
woods. You
have
can go
just been,
meditate in town.
Killing it the last few years,
Holy!
just making our humans look more detailed
what
and
I'm saying?
realistic than ever. So here you get to see that before he
My
puts on
goodness.
his kind of more intimidating armor at higher levels. And he's got those 2 forms, and in addition
Woo!
to those 2 forms, it's the creatures is really what this skin is all about.
Exactly.
And that's not; those are not the only creatures.
Yeah, there's one that's
There's one
I
more.
kind of see
Now,
him in the back,
you
but
can
he's a little
kinda
bit
see
too
him
big.
back there.
Yeah.
Spoilers, all right?
Yeah, you can
All
kind of
right.
see him back there.
Well,
but
let's go ahead
He's so
and
big he can't fit
let's
on
get
frame,
into
we'll just
game
say.
here because I know everybody is super
Oh, we're gonna
excited
get to see it at least?
Just
Holy
look at
cow,
that.
he's
Already
huge!
The animation treatments on
What is that
on the-
big,
the
beefy
pets.
boat thing?
The guy flying around. I
So
see.
there's with that was with one of the special emotes active that triggered the Flutter Fiend. Tina, correct me if I'm getting their names wrong.
Yeah, Flutterfield.
And now you can see Burrowsaur and Ghoulipaw.
So he shoots with a
Don't learn my
gun.
names.
Burrowsaur is underground.
Okay.
He's there. You see him.
And Ghoulipaw is a little wisp, and they from time to time will pop out and animate and do dolphin jumps and yawns and other cute little things throughout the gameplay. Now,
Okay.
each one of these abilities corresponds to a creature.
Yes.
So he's got, first of all, the basic attacks was replaced with a little fire lizard, which actually we didn't name him. Maybe we'll do a community thing.
Yeah,
Wait,
go
how-
back.
yeah, maybe.
Chad, if you have a good name for the fire lizard.
I'm not
we'll do like a
super
polar
impressed
something.
right now, I
Maybe
gotta
we'll let
say.
YouTube Man name him something
give it
silly like he
time.
was in the past.
Yeah.
Bobo
I feel like there's a
or
lot
whatever.
happening on the screen right for this.
So that's
Pretty
your
dis-
basic attacks.
Pretty
Ability
distracting.
1 is Ricochet, and Ricochet is featuring Burrowsaur, he's energetic and lively.
Yeah.
He's like a creature of pure energy.
Yes.
So he is the projectile of the Ricochet. And he goes flying at rapid speed with his mouth open and his tongue out,
Yeah, he's
ready
so
to
cute.
attack whoever Hou Yi commands.
He's gonna slow it down, and so you can
nice.
see
Yeah,
his tongue.
see Burrowsaur in action.
Yeah, you can see his tongue coming out. Oh, that's a little too fast, maybe.
And you can see him flying, almost belly flopping through the air. He's moving so fast.
Oh, he's coming!
This is fun.
Oh Lord!
That's your Ricochet.
Yep.
Ability 2 is going to be the spectral spirit animal.
Gooliepaw.
Gooliepaw. And he's going to fly and kind of creep on whoever Hou Yi wants to mark, right?
He's cuddling him for death.
Yeah. All right.
So he flies there. You still get the stun combo, of course.
I'm
The kit remains intact.
Not
There's
impressed
just a lot
yet.
of different variations of the visuals here. You can also notice that when you fire an ability, they cease to follow Hou Yi for a short period of time. And then once they've completed their ability, they come back. And there we use the Flutter Fiend for the ability 3. Picks him up into the air. Dive bombs along with Hou Yi.
Flutter Fiend, huh?
Flutter Fiend, go!
All right, and what about the ultimate? What's going on for that ultimate?
What about the ultimate?
What about it?
Oh my god! So, there he is.
Skybreaker,
Yes.
as
Watch him
we
walk
like to
away,
call
watch him
him.
walk away.
That is his name, and
The thing's pretty big.
I would say confidently he is the biggest character in Smite.
That's pretty big.
So
Okay.
That is nuts. Oh
Cool,
my
Scary.
goodness. You can see him like literally all the way across the map.
He
Holy.
is taller than Mount Olympus. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's touching the tree.
Easily.
There's
towers
2 of them!
over- Yeah, well, if you're able to fire on cooldown cheats mode, like we are
Pawn
now.
could put like 6 of them on the map. And
Only
it'll
one
crash.
Hou
my
Yi is
God,
on
just
shoot it.
straight out of the Chaos Tower
Perfectly
fight.
fire speed that spiral
That's a pretty
stuff.
cool ulti, I gotta say.
Oh my
No!
He looks over the arena.
That's a
stands.
pretty cool
He
ulti.
is massive.
It's unfortunate that the rest of the
fires
skin
this
was
ultimate
so like subpar,
down
because that
from the
ultimate
heavens.
is like
bursting
legit.
in the area 7 times, like Hou Yi's striking suns. And it's really cool because actually Hou Yi's suns.
Jorm
basically,
is
you can
literally
actually see
shaking
those crashing
right now.
down from quite a good distance away.
And there's the level 10 version, the evolved version that Pawn just set level 2. Chris, I know a ton of work went into all the effects and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of what did you have to go through to make all this happen?
It was just, we kind of had to make everything feel different and unique. We didn't want to cover up the effects, or cover up the pets themselves with effects, so we tried to make them complementary to the pets themselves. I think this is just fantastic. I think the pets are
I'm blown away.
I wish I
This
could
is
have like a
new
different
take on
skin
a
with
tier
that
5, and,
ulti.
like, I'm so stoked to play it.
It is. It's something we've never done before. We know our players are constantly pushing us to do things like that, and I think the team really delivered here.
It's
So the
definitely not my
Reaper, the
favorite.
Burrowsword
It's
digs a
definitely
little
one of my
hole for
least
Hou Yi,
favorite tier
which then he
5s
jumps down in.
for me. There's just too much happeing.
That we are using this is one of that.
There's
was one
like
of the
so many
special
things
ones
on
there.
the screen. I feel like it's just
Everyone
more
knows really
distracting
good.
than anything. To me, at least. To each their own, but not my thing.
So if each time you use a special emote, it'll cycle through. So this one's got Flutter Fiend flying around. If they use the special emote again, you might get the Burrowsaur. There's the Burrowsaur one. He rolls really, really quickly around you. And then you also get Flutter Fiend doing little, or Gooliepaw, doing little like dolphin leaping.
Oh, he's cute.
So cute.
What's
man.
worse, this
They all
one or
have their own
Bologna's T5? Oh, I
personalities.
hate Bologna's.
Burrowsaur
Bologna's is
really
just annoying because
energetic
every time you use
and
a stance, it
hyper,
switches.
and
It hurts my
Gooliepaw
ears.
is kind of
Like, you stand
mischievous
switches
and
all the time
beaming, and
on
then Flutter
Bologna,
Fiend is
you know?
very just laid back and chill and friendly. I don't know what Skybreaker is. He's just a boss.
He's
I
just
guess.
awesome.
I will say, while he's doing the VXG, those pets should be disappeared, but it's kind of in progress right now. So it'll be
There's-
cleaned up before it's released.
Yeah.
Good call. There's certainly a few things we're still looking at. I'm not seeing the pets come out of their animations as much while firing him, which I know we were still
How are you
adjusting
supposed to
that
see
rate
anything
to
with this
play
thing? That's a
those.
good question.
Like
How are
Burrowsaur,
you?
it should be doing these like kind of dolphin jumps
Yeah.
fairly often while you're running around like this. And Gooliepaw
Just
has
a
like
lot-
a
I
couple
mean, like I
animations.
said,
He, like, comes out and,
I don't think it's
yawns and
horrible. There's just
stretches.
too much
It's
happening for me.
really cool.
Oh my
It's so
goodness.
awesome.
I'll
Now,
use
you can't see them
my
interact
my
very
Lord of
well,
the
I believe,
Rings
if you
Hou Yi
stand
skin,
still.
you know.
You will see some of these,
Yeah.
where you see a
And
different
while
set
he's
of them.
standing still, let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack.
There's still so much to learn from these creatures. Look to the skies and witness your doom. Time to throw caution to the wind.
So cool. And I know Tina had a lot of
I
fun
know.
writing that voice pack.
Okay,
Tina, who
so-
did the voice pack?
One of my favorite voice actors ever. His name is Doug Cockle. and he voices one of my favorite video game characters ever, Geralt of
Yep,
Rivia.
it is, yeah.
So, of
really
course, I
is,
was like,
yeah.
could you please voice
That's hilarious.
this awesome, amazing tier 5 for
That's
us?
amazing.
Thank you.
I love that we can use
And he was
our-
very
our-
excited to do
You know,
it.
Tina has built up a great relationship with a lot of very famous
Most
voice
definitely.
actors, so it's great that we can call them up and we have a special project and be like, yo, we have a very high profile item. Are you interested?
That's hilarious.
And they're like, yes, we are.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on, we have to
Good
see a
job,
couple
Tina.
animations. Don't take me out of game.
Good
We're
job.
just about out of
Everybody,
time.
give
We've got
applause.
the
Good
live
job, Tina.
Q&A
No,
That's
later
cool.
on.
I promise
That's
you,
a
live
cool
Q&A,
voice.
I would show the laugh.
That's pretty cool.
You have
All
to
right.
go back. You have
I'm
to.
down for Geralt
Thank
of
you.
Rivia voice actor.
This is the laugh. You get the boop the snoot, and then they laugh together.
Oh my
How can you
goodness!
not see that? Do
The ulti's great. The voice is great. The rest of it doesn't do it for
I thought
me.
we were at time. It's
adorable.
Now we have time. We need to do the
The
clap.
Butcher of Blaviken?
Oh, that's the taunt. So they kind of all get in formation, and
that's
all
cool.
together
Ready.
kind of roar
Yeah.
at your enemy.
Oh.
Show no mercy for those who spill blood.
And there's some very cute sound effects. Do the clap. Do the clap. It's the best one.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. What's happening?
He holds
The
up the little dragon.
fire lizard.
The
and
little
he
fire lizard.
claps.
He does the clap, and he does like a very quiet little.
Oh, it's so cute.
And then there's also the
He
wave,
does Simba, his
which we'll need to
lizard, he
zoom back
does.
out a little for that one, because you can see him for the wave. Burrowsar comes out over there and behind him.
Where?
Burrowsar comes up under Hou Yi's feet and kind of
In
puts him
waves,
off his balance, and then comes up behind him and throws this big exaggerated wave.
Cool.
And we should set up a second client so we can look at both from all these different views. The animation team went all out.
They
on
went
these.
ham,
It was a
yes.
lot of trouble to actually get.
Yeah,
Hou Yi
I
to
wish the
interact with
skin was
features
just a
and for
little
everything to
less,
line
like-
up. It was a really big technical challenge.
I don't know, what's the word,
The
cluttered?
AI involved in the pets.
It feels-
even the
it
pets
feels
they're
cluttered.
totally
I think that's
artistic
the
just
right
to fall
word.
around him and animate and do these things. Had a
Like
ton
when you're
of
watching
code going into
TLC
it.
and you turn on Hoarders.
I believe the engineer on Tier 5 PvE even mentioned that the Tier 5's artistic code is longer than Hou Yi's kit.
He said it's
That's
like
nuts.
3
Wow.
times the size of base Hou Yi.
So the actual abilities were much easier to code than the art you're seeing here and all these extra features and these extra behaviors. It's a beautiful combination of art and technology to make this skin possible. The tech art and the effects team, like Chris here, had to work really hard to make Skybreaker a reality.
Put in overtime,
It was
yeah.
crazy. We were not sure it was going to work. Same with even interacting with the pets and getting them all to line up, making sure when he's petting this little creature that he's actually getting his hand in the right place, getting all that
Exactly,
stuff.
yeah.
It was the team really
right.
worked really hard. And there's going to be a
It's
behind the scenes
different.
video
It's different.
Yes.
that we're doing. That's
Yeah,
going
we're
to show
working
you
on
more
it.
Maybe
about that. Yeah,
some-
which
from
is
some of
really
the
cool,
tech
which
that
I'm
they
really
got,
excited
they
about.
Well,
like
that wraps it up for
could do
Tier
something
5
else,
Totem
you know?
Caller Hou Yi. We've actually got another set of news for you. We're actually going to be starting Odyssey Tier 5 voting later on this week. We've got the bracket
Already?
set. Go ahead and we're going to tweet out the bracket. That way you guys can predict your matchups. Lots of
Okay.
awesome matchups going on in this bracket here.
Oh man, I have no idea.
Yeah, I
who's
know.
gonna win.
I don't even know. I have to go through. I know we sent out like a company-wide bracket. I still haven't done mine yet, but
Couple new names on there.
new names. Yep, cool.
Arachne.
Well, that wraps it up for our
Arachne.
Grim Omens update
Arachne.
show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got a live Q&A, so be sure to keep it locked, and we'll see you next time.
Well, I mean, outside of the fact that the audio, was a disaster again, at least visually, it wasn't a disaster, just the audio. Balance-wise, pretty much all the balance was good. Reminder that the first half of the video, those patch notes will go live in a week on March 10th. The second half of the patch notes, those won't go live until March 24th. Pretty much all of the balance was good. The buffs and the nerfs, except for maybe Persephone. They nerfed her ulti, but they buffed her plants, so it's kind of like, where does that make her end up? But outside of that, like, buffing POW boots because nobody was buying them, like, that's cool. They nerfed a lot of characters like Merlin that needed to be nerfed. They buffed characters that needed to be buffed. For the most part, I don't have any problems. It was kind of a smaller patch, There wasn't like a god rework or a new god because that's not until next month with Baba Yaga. But on the whole, really no complaints about the patch. So we're just going to have to, see how things go when it goes live. A lot of the more important stuff is coming in a week for the, bonus balance section. And so that should be just